So my students have requested for me to show them how to build or create an application that is like a setup of the application we created in Visual Studio. If you remember, we created a calculator in Visual Studio, but we were only able to run the calculator application from Visual Studio. So some of the students were asking how would they build the calculator application in such a way that they'll have a working setup that they can transfer to other computers and install the calculator, and they can run them from any other computer. So this is how you do it. First of all, we'll go ahead and open up our Visual Studio and load the SmartCalc application that we created. That's the finished product. So you make sure you finish the calculator application before you or whatever application you're doing before you publish it. So I'm going to go ahead and look for it. I think it's here I called it SmartCalc with a K. So this is the solution. And okay, I've gone ahead and opened up my SmartCalc application. So this is the application we created, if you remember. I'll just go ahead and test it to make sure everything is working fine before I create a working build. So let's go ahead and test it. 12 plus 63 equals 75. Okay, that's correct. 8 times 4 equals 32. Okay. 6 minus 3 equals 3. Okay. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Okay, so our calculator application is working fine. So I'll just go ahead and close the application, and this is where you go if you want to create a working build. So you can see my mouse is on the menu bar. You click on build and you go to well, before we publish, I think it's good to make some changes. Now if you click on publish SmartCalc, it might create, okay, let's go ahead and click on it. Okay, it's already asking us for where we want to build it, so we're not going to do that yet. We have to make some changes in the like if you want to give it the name of the app itself, that's the name the person will see when he runs the application. And I think that you can find under, let's see, project and SmartCalc properties. So did you see that? You click on project in the menu bar and click on SmartCalc properties. Now it gives you all these sorts of options that you can change. On the left, at the moment it's application tab is selected, so we're going to choose on publish tab. That's where we're going to make most of the changes. So if you click on the publish tab, you see a list of options. The first one is saying publishing folder location. Okay, this is fine. You can just leave all these and go ahead and click on this options button. If you click on that, that brings up where you can select the name, that's the product name, the name of the application, the name of the publisher. I think that's the only thing that you might want to change in here. So let's go ahead and choose, you can give it any name you want. I'll just give mine Musti as the publisher name, and the product name is what the user will see as the name of the application in his computer. That's after he has installed it. So I'm going to go ahead and call it SmartCalc. I'll give a space after the smart. So that's it. We'll go ahead and click OK. and you can see a star shows up in front of publish, meaning you have made changes. So after that, we'll go now to our build menu and choose publish smart calc. So go ahead and click that, and now it's just saying I should specify the location to publish the application. Now I'm just going to put it on my desktop, so it's not going to be hard for me to find. So I'm going to click on browse, and I'll choose okay, desktop, and I'll just create a new folder on my desktop. So I'm going to call that folder, let's call it smart calc publish. So I'll just call that smart calc publish. That's where it's going to build it to on my desktop. And I'll go ahead, you see I've selected the smart calc publish folder, so this URL is selected in the folder options, and I'll go ahead and click on open. Now I've successfully selected that folder, and I'll go to next. Okay, it's asking if you want the users to be able to download the application from a website or from a UNC path. I think you should just leave it on CD-ROM or DVD-ROM and click next. And then it's asking, the application will check for updates. Okay, if you want to provide updates for the application, you will need to have a website where you will be providing the updates. So at the moment, we're not going to create any updates. So we'll just click select the application will not check for updates and go to next, and it just gives you a summary of what will happen with this application. So when this application is installed on the client machine, a shortcut will be added to the start menu, and the application can be uninstalled via add or remove programs. So just remember, after installing the application, if you don't want it again, you have to go to add or remove programs. I think that's under control panel. So let's go ahead and click on finish. Now you can see in the output folder, it will give you some list of output showing you how the publishing is going. So everything is fine. Build one succeeded, publish one succeeded, and when it's done, it opened up the folder on my desktop where it created the setup file. So this is the setup file, setup.exe. This smartcalc.application is just the application itself, but I would not advise you to double click on that. This is the main setup file. So if you want to install the application, you just go ahead and double click that, and it will take a few seconds. It gives you a warning. You can see the name of the application is SmartCalc, and publisher is unknown publisher. Yeah, that's because I do not have a signing authority. I think you need to have, as a developer, you need to make yourself recognized by the world that you're a developer, and have a kind of a digital sign-in print or something like that, that allows you to be able to sign applications. So whenever, like, if you download some applications, like for instance Adobe Photoshop, under the publisher name you'll see it's Adobe. Adobe will be the publisher, meaning they are worldly recognized as developers of applications. So you need to have that if you want the publisher name to show. So at the moment it will just show unknown publisher, and we'll go ahead and install. So, and that's it. It has installed, and it has also run the application for us by default. So now what you should know is the application is running now. Now this is different. You can still run this application even when you close Visual Studio. So let's just go ahead and terminate this. Now the things I would like to let you know is these files, these three files, one, two, okay, there's a folder. There are other files in them in the folder. So these three files are the files you're going to transfer to other people if they want to install the SmartCalc application, and you can find it on your desktop. So here's the folder on your desktop, SmartCalc Publish, the one I created when I wanted to make the build. So these are the three files, like I said, in your that you can transfer to other people if they want to install. And when they want to install the application, they just double click on setup.exe and it will install. If you remember, we've already installed the SmartCalc application on this computer. So to bring it up, you can just go to your start menu, or whatever Windows call this anyway. You click on that and you search for I think the name of the application was SmartCalc. So SmartCalc, and this is it. If you notice, that's the application, and if you click on it, it runs the SmartCalc application. And so the application now exists in the computer, and you don't have to run Visual Studio. In fact, let's go ahead and close Visual Studio just to show that. Save changes, no. So I'll just terminate Visual Studio. As you can see, Visual Studio is not running, but I can go to my Windows start menu and look for SmartCalc, and when I run it, you see I have a working SmartCalc application. And you can use this, you can do the same steps for any type of application that you create with Visual Studio. It's the same steps you follow to publish it. So I hope this video was helpful, and hope to see you sometime soon. Bye bye.